Thanks for joining us on What Matters This Week. This Sunday, I'm Lauren Maloney. Here with me is Hope Sullivan. She is the executive director of the Vermont Studio Center in Johnson. Hope, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. Great to be here.
We are here to actually talk about fellowships being offered to support Vermont artists impacted by flooding in July. First of all, however, please tell us what the Vermont Studio Center is for our viewers who may not know.
Oh, well, for those who don't know, Vermont Studio Center is in Johnson, Vermont, and we are an international artist and writers residency program, which means we bring people from all over the world here to Johnson to stay for 2 to 4 weeks and work on their craft. And so we create this amazing community of creativity and inspiration, and it's all about translating spirit into form is what our goal is to help support. So a wonderful hidden gem, I think, in Johnson.
How did this fellowship come about?
Well, we have some longtime supporters who knew of a fund that we used to have, the Displaced Artist Fund, which actually was spent down several years ago. I've only been here for about 5 months, and they heard about the flooding that was happening in Vermont, and they wanted to do something, and so they made this grant. It's the Marshall and Margaret McComb Foundation made a grant for flood relief fellowships through our Displaced Artists Fund. So it's kind of wonderful because we'll be able to continue that fund going forward. But right now in 2023, we have a way to do something for Vermont artists and writers who were directly impacted by the summer's floods.
Yeah. Okay. Tell us, how can somebody be eligible to apply? Do you have to be from Johnson?
Oh, not at all. Nope. To be eligible, you must be a Vermont resident. You have to be a visual artist or writer, and you have to have been impacted by the floods of 2023. It's a pretty simple application. If you go to our website, vermontstudiocenter.org, it will walk you through the process very directly and straightforward. If you have issues posting, we ask, I think, for 10 pages for a writing sample and up 5 images for your visual artwork. If you have issues because of computer access or whatnot with that, there's instructions for that too. You can get in touch directly with our admissions team and they will walk you through it. And this opportunity is specifically to provide a 4-week fellowship. So everything paid, you come here, you're housed, you're fed, and you get your studio space from November 26th of this year to December 21st. So a great way to end a not so terrific year for some is what we're hoping.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, what do Vermonters not know, possibly at large here, about how the flood is still impacting writers and artists?
You know, I think there's been a lot of coverage, and deservedly so, around the impact on small businesses. But at the same time, in a quieter way, a lot of artists and writers, and Vermont has a huge per capita population of artists and writers, have had personal impact, whether it's their studio, their residence, their workplace, or just their community. You know, imagine living in Montpelier and your studio's flooded and you also have to get to work through the flooded streets. I mean, everybody in Vermont was touched in some way, some more than others, and quite a few of those were artists and writers. We actually did a call recently for Vermont Week, which is annually we have a 1-week residency for Vermonters. And that's something that's been being done for years. There's 1,500 alumni of that program across Vermont. And in response to that call, we had so much interest and appreciation for it. And some folks pointing out like just how much the need was right now. So when we were able to get this funding, we were really grateful and think it will really help to get a few people really back into their creative practice is what we're trying to do.
So it's almost November here. These floods happened in July. What are you still hearing from artists and writers that you are dealing with on a daily basis? What are they still telling you about the lingering impact?
Well, I mean, we're hearing just that it is a lingering impact. I mean, I can tell you specifically for myself professionally here at Vermont Studio Center, we were really significantly impacted by the floods. The building I'm in right now, the lower level, was flooded up to 5 feet, had never come that high ever. And another building was flooded even higher. And that building's actually, unfortunately, going to need to come down. So we have done the immediate mitigation. We have come up with our winterization plan, but it's a long road ahead. And I think that that exact same thing is true for individuals, and perhaps there's just not as much of a platform to let people know about it. So what we're hearing from artists is very much what we're experiencing here is, yes, you can keep going. You know, we even at the time we had residents who were here during the flood, and they were able to continue their practice. And luckily, our dining hall didn't have to shut, and we could continue. But it's just a lot that's happening in the background, and it can really, if it's your own studio, if it's your own home, that can have a devastating impact on your just ability to focus and have that be the priority. So we're giving a gift of time and lack of worry, I think.
What proof do people need to share with you that they experienced a direct impact?
It's pretty, I mean, they don't have to share anything official. It's more of a narrative format essay. So if we have questions, we will ask, we'll reach out. So the idea is not to have an onerous application, but really to reach artists and writers who have had some impact. So I would encourage everybody just to tell your story, tell it forthrightly, and not worry too much about how you're expressing it. We're not asking for receipts. It's not a FEMA application, which I now know is
Everybody's doing.
Oh my goodness, I had no idea, but I do now. And it is not like that at all. And the goal is absolutely not to be creating burden for those who are trying, because we only got funding for 2 visual artists and 1 writer. So it is a very limited availability for right now, but there'll be other opportunities in the future. And we don't want it to be painful to put your hat in the ring. And we also waived the application fee, so it's completely free for people to apply.
How many people have applied so far?
Well, it just opened on Monday, and I think, you know, it's an application people are filling out. So I'm not sure how many have been completed. I know that dozens of people have already started the process. I'm not sure. I'd have to check with my admissions director to see where we are in terms of ones that have been submitted. It's a 2-week call, so people have until midnight on Sunday, October 5th.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. Sunday, October 5th.
Yep.
It's the Sunday, November 5th is the deadline to get that information.
Thank you. It's not, yes, November 5th.
I imagine too, Hope, that some of these individuals are actually still reeling, still struggling in some way from the pandemic, because we heard, you know, just how artists were affected then. So this is kind of a twofold whammy that people received over the summer.
Yeah, it really is, because we're just starting to emerge back into a new normal, and COVID's not gone, and now then this came, and it was such a surprise, I think, for so many people. It wasn't even a named storm, as you know. So but you know, Vermonters are hardy. People have gotten through it, but I think, especially for our creative community, for our cultural landscape, finding ways to inject support, to find ways to support the artists that help us to get through these hard times, I think is critical. So the Macomb Foundation has been absolutely amazing, stepping up to make this possible.
How have people who have taken part in fellowships in the past succeeded or you know, saw some success once they left?
Oh, well, we've had you know, over 17,000 people come through Vermont Studio Center, artists and writers over the years, and there's quite a few large names. So I mean, there's celebrity artists and writers, and there's people who are very, very well known in the field, and then there's people who maybe are more, you know, working on their own craft and aren't as much in the public eye. But everybody is juried, so it's always about quality. So it's always really, really amazing work that's being done here. So I mean, I guess my favorite story that involves a name about somebody is Alan Cumming came here to write his book, and he apparently, this is years before I was here, but got lost while he was on a hike, and it made it into some of his comedy and writing. So if you ever read about some like big, you know, like adventure getting lost on a hike that in Vermont, that was while he was at Vermont Studio Center.
It happens.
There's so many people who have come through here, and actually we're proud of every artist in resident. We've had actually a huge percentage of international artists in residence as well. So people really coming from all over the world, all different disciplines, all kinds of backgrounds and cultures and experiences that are just coming together to form a really unique and creative community together.
I think you're probably informing a lot of our viewers about just what the Vermont Studio Center is today. So how can the average person maybe take a look at some of the artwork or some of the examples of poetry, as you said, that people come through your center to work on? How can the general public see the fruits of your labor?
Well, on our next Vermont Week. So Vermont Week is when we're celebrating Vermonters, and we give full fellowships for 1 week to 30 Vermont artists and writers. Our next one is actually the week of November 13th. And on Sunday, the 19th, from 2 to 4 p.m., we have open studios in Johnson. So anybody is welcome to come here and walk around and go from studio. There's 6 buildings that will be open, and you can go from studio to studio and see what those Vermont artists and writers have been doing. But you can also go and check out our calendar. For every session that we hold, we invite a visiting artist and a visiting writer, and those are renowned folks in their field who come and give an artist talk or a writer's reading, and then they also work one-on-one with the residents for a few days. So there are some amazing people coming up. I know that just off the top of my head, during Vermont Week, we have Will Casso-Condry, who's going to be here on November 15th, and he's a visual artist. And then we have Ricardo Wilson, who is a writer, who will be here on the 17th. And both of those are a talk and a reading at 8 o'clock. So all of that, though, is on vermontstudiocenter.org. So there's often an artist talk or a writer reading or a studio tour that someone can jump in on. But folks are also welcome. My email's on the website. You're welcome to reach out to me. I'd be happy to give anyone a tour if they're coming through Johnson, because we're right in the center of town and love to show people what we're doing.
A reminder to apply for this fully funded fellowship at the Vermont Studio Center. You have until midnight on Sunday, November 5th. Hope, I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lauren.